Hello again, and welcome to week 2 of reading and writing in the content areas. I just wanted to send another brief note for this week, basically going over our exercise involving the vocabulary worksheets and a bit of information on our vocab mini lessons, and then I will answer a few questions that I got in the email that I think the rest of the class should hear. So to begin with, as far as the vocab exercises are concerned, basically, it's a really simple process. Step one would be to pick a vocab word from the sheets, and step two is to pick a worksheet, and then just go through the worksheet. You only have to do one vocab word and one worksheet. Don't worry if someone's already done it. We'll probably have repeats both in words and worksheets. And then later on this week, I'd like you to go through those, review them. It's probably more helpful if you see someone else who did your word in a different worksheet and kind of reflect on which one seems to work best. And basically what we're doing is we're getting a little practice in class for our vocab mini lessons, which are due on Sunday. Now, a note on those, kind of a general thought in my course is that I'm really kind of allowing you this space to kind of create and play with these lessons. And that's why the rubric is pretty much generic at best. What I'd like you to do is kind of go through them. One of the questions that I'll answer kind of later on asks if your vocab lesson needs to be tied into your reading lesson, which needs to be tied into your writing lesson, which ties into your overall lesson. That's not necessary. But it is probably something you might want to consider, maybe not so much with the vocab, but definitely in the reading and writing portions of it. So just for your sake, so you have something that's complete once you're done with this course, and then you can say, hey, look, I got something done in the class. And then secondly, these are places for you to experiment, and they're done so on purpose, and that's why the instructions are kind of general as well. What I'd like you to do is kind of pick a format. Most people kind of choose PowerPoint, which is kind of the de facto. But if you want to experiment, please do. You can, for instance, do your lesson by webcam, or you can use Prezi or any other such software or site, and spice it up. And again, this is a place for you to experiment. And as far as grading is concerned, basically the way that it works is we'll have them due on Sunday, and then next week we'll kind of post them to your group discussions, definitely, note. And then, your group itself will go through those, and not necessarily me. And so it's more kind of a reflective process. Again, they'll give you kind of critical feedback and then score you out of, I believe it's 20 points. And then all I do is I just average those scores, and then that'll be your grade. So I don't think that, we're all a group of educators here, and I don't think that anybody's going to be overly harsh about your lesson, especially if you kind of talk about how you wanted to experiment with something. And that follows into my third thing, which is, I guess I forgot to mention, grading. So yeah, the course is again reflexive, and so my personal viewpoint on that is that, if you're a little late on a post or something, and I'm talking within 24 hours, or, if you get in touch with me beforehand, I'm not necessarily concerned with when you turn it in. I am concerned with, the way that you're internalizing the stuff that you're reading, and especially, reading those conversations between your group members. So, one of the questions I got today involved the 3 responses that you're supposed to do per week. And the question was basically asking, does that need to be 3 in group and 3 in class discussion, or just 3 total? The answer is just 3 total. Most of our exercises aren't really going to be, and when I say exercises, I'm actually talking about the class discussion stuff. Most of those exercises may not be conducive to a whole class discussion, 1 or 2 posts here, but I'm definitely more concerned with you responding to your group mates. We're doing, each week we'll have at least 2 responses, so there's going to be multiple threads of conversations going on, and so again, those general rules of when you post and when to post, as long as there's a conversation going and you get everything done by the end of the week, I'm not too concerned about what day you actually post them. Those guidelines within the syllabus are general rules of thumb. I don't necessarily mark off if you don't meet those days and times specifically. A good rule is to kind of, look or at least post, by the first response will typically or will always be due on Wednesday of the week, and then the last response on Sunday. So, somewhere within there, you get one or two responses in. That's fine with me. Let's see what other questions we have here. Okay, so the time limit of the vocab mini lessons, the syllabus says 13 to 15 minutes. That's kind of a throwback to when the class was taught both inline and in class. That's just a general guideline to keep within your hand. I'm not going to have the stopwatch off, but again, if you want to actually run through the lesson for us, that'd be great. And you don't have to keep to those time limits. I mean, if you can get it done within 10 minutes or less, then that's great. Let's see, what else do we have?